Hello. I thought I might talk about, excuse my towel drying in the background, I thought I would talk about theatre. Why not? And the relationship between theatre and video games, which is one I've felt for a while. I may not be the only person who thinks this, but I think that theatre is more connected to video games than cinema is. Because originally, I think I probably thought cinema is sort of connected to video games because they are both uh, screen art forms. But I think lately that theatre, you see, theatre has this thing where an audience is in front of the theatre, and they react to it. And if the audience is in mute sort of astonishment at what's happening and silent, the theatre, the play, reacts to it. The actors react to it. So that there is a slight kind of interactivity in theatre that is not present in cinema, in my mind, in that same way. In a sense, right, the audience in a theatrical show, and this I think goes for all sorts of performance art of any kind that is live, like music as well, the audience play a role in letting the artwork happen. If the audience throw a tantrum and crawl onto the stage, the play is not going to happen, or is going to be altered significantly from what it was previously, a few minutes ago, or even what the artist maybe expected, or something like that. There's a lot of changes that can happen, and of course there are changes whereby an audience total dedication and total concentration as an audience, as a group, to what's happening makes the play transform as well. The people on stage notice that attention and react to it. They notice that no one's shifting in their seats, that no one's making a sound, that people's body language is kind of curved towards the theatre, things of that nature. So the actors sort of feel like, oh wow, okay, there's a sort of a communication between the audience and the play that transforms the play. The play is different because of a good audience or a bad audience or a mediocre audience or an exceptionally, weird, interesting audience that relates to the play in a strange and interesting way. And so, because of this, it really just does feel to me as if the audience have a remote in their hand and they're controlling a video game. The way that you would have, a joystick or whatever in your hand, and you are sort of in charge of the show on the screen, the video game, the Mario game, for example, behaving in this way or that way. The happenings on the screen are going to depend on your participation. Are you going to be a good audience or a bad audience? What's your collaboration going to be? How is your reaction to what's happening on screen going to, make the actors, the characters on the screen, or the events overall on the screen, to describe it in that sort of metaphorical way? How are they going to react to you? So, okay, why am I interested in this? Why am I interested in this idea overall? Well, I think theatre for me is a very sort of, I don't know what word I would use, like living, live. Literally, it's live. It's live art. That liveness is interesting to me because things are happening right there in the moment in a way that constructs the art The art's happening kind of right there in that present moment, in a way that doesn't quite happen, in my opinion, with painting and other, recorded mediums like recorded music or film, literature, of course. I don't think it happens in the same way, right? The actual work itself, say the novel, is not transforming in front of your eyes physically because of your reaction to it. Maybe some sort of avant-garde novel that uses, invisible ink or something could do that. But you know what I mean? Like there's a way in which the way the novel transforms in front of your eyes is not physical. It doesn't physically transform. The book doesn't physically change. Your reading changes, your interpretation changes, your mood and reaction to the novel do change the novel in this spiritual sense, but not in a material sense, I would say. But theatrical art changes physically depending on the audience's reaction. How the play will physically be. The movements of the hands and gestures of the actors will be different depending on that present moment, which is being influenced by the audience. So the present moment where the play is happening is being influenced by the audience. Okay. So I guess that's just a sort of grab bag of ideas I had about theater that I think relate to video games in some way. I think video games partake of this same spirit, artistic spirit, in some way, in a way that I find interesting. And I guess, I don't know, I'll continue thinking about it at some point. It seems to me that I have not much else to say. Let's check. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.